Welcome to the Redirect Podcast. My name is Abigail Hughes.
And I'm Emily Rojas. The Redirect Podcast is a show where we shift the conversation back to books. We discuss themes from some of our favorite fictional books and how those themes show up in real lived experiences.
On today's episode, we're discussing the multi-generational favorite, Are You There, God? It's me, Margaret.
But first, if you have been enjoying this podcast, we would humbly ask that you support us in a few simple ways. Please just leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and let us know that you're loving the show.
We'd also love for you to follow us on Instagram at Redirect Podcast. And finally, if you really, really like the show, please share it with a friend. Sharing our show with a friend is definitely the best way to help us grow our community of book-loving nerds and have more people to discuss the episodes with.
Yes. And here we are on a surprise week where you weren't expecting us for our first bonus episode. So hello.
It is our first bonus episode because the movie, Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, is coming out this week on the 28th, I think. And we thought that was a really great opportunity to discuss it before it comes out.
Yeah.
And just because it's fun.
And there's so much to talk about. So,
yeah, there is a lot to talk about. So, just to set the scene, Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret is a middle grades book written by Judy Blume. The main character of the book is Margaret Simon. She's an 11-year-old girl in 1970 whose family moves from New York City to suburban New Jersey. Her parents have an interfaith marriage, which is probably a bigger deal in 1970 than it is now. But this causes a lot of questions and kind of just it impacts the way that she sees the world. And so we follow Margaret's 6th grade year as she navigates all of this. The adult problems that are going on around her, the social pressures of being a 6th grader, and her on this journey of this journey to discover religion. Would you say that's right?
Yeah. She obviously, based on the title, she prays to God, like a God, but she's kind of I have no religion. And her parents don't even really believe in God, it seems like, but she does. So she's kind of trying to figure out, am I Jewish? Am I Christian? What am I? Where's God going to be for me? But she still does continue to pray throughout the whole book, which I thought was really interesting.
Is God there? And nobody knows she's praying. No one's told her to pray.
Yeah.
But okay. So let's step back really quick.
Yeah.
Emily, what is your relationship to this book? I don't think either one of us read it as kids.
No, I didn't read it as a kid. I think I definitely read other Judy Blume books, but not this one. I think I remember seeing it a lot at the library, but I kind of thought, I think based on the title, I thought it was maybe a religious book, or I don't know. I remember thinking it looked boring or something. So I never read it as a kid. So my first experience with it was this week when I read it for the first time. So what about you?
I also did not read it as a kid. But I think it was actually, and I don't know, maybe I am just imagining this, but Judy Blume has some more adult books, and then she has several children's books. And for some reason, I had this impression that there was something bad about this book.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know why, and I don't think my parents told me that. I just think, I don't know, I had this, it was wrong, or I shouldn't read it, or something like that. So, I don't know, I never did, but what caused me to read it was actually my book club was hey, does anyone want to go see an advanced screening of this movie? So I saw the movie this last week, and I was like, oh yeah, sure, I'll go, and let me just read the book really quick. And I was like, oh wow, I kind of really wish that I had read it.
I know. That's exactly how I felt when I read it too. I was like, man, I wish I read this book when I was 12.
So my 11-year-old niece recently read this book. So in preparation for the episode, I called her.
Oh.
And I was like, okay, Paige, because she one time mentioned to me that she was going to read this book. And I was like, have you read Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret? And she was like, yes. And I really, really liked it. And so I got a few talking points from her. The things that I said, what did you like about the book? And she said, she felt like she learned a lot
Mm-hmm.
about things she didn't know about yet, like puberty.
Yes.
She said, I don't go to public school, but I learned about public school.
Mm,
She
that's
said
cute.
she learned about parties,
Oh, yes, yes.
and she thought that was really interesting. And um and I asked her if she could relate to the book, if she
Hmm.
could relate to Margaret. And she said, "Yeah, I think I can relate to her in a few ways."
Oh,
So it was actually really sweet getting to hear that from an 11-year-old's perspective.
yeah.
Because I think one of the cool things about this book and why it's probably like such a multi-generational favorite
Yeah.
is because there's things that you understand about it as an adult
Yes.
that you would never pick up as a kid.
Yeah.
But there are things that when you read it as a kid, like the things in Margaret's life, like will she start her period? Will she wear a bra?
Yeah.
I like a boy down the street. Those things seem like the biggest things.
Yes.
But now when you read it as an adult, I would argue those aren't the biggest things that happen in the book.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. And I think okay, and when I read this book, I'm like, this is the exact opposite of my experience with reading Little House on the Prairie because
Hmm.
obviously this book is also old. And I didn't know, like, is there going to be some weird, outdated things in here or whatever? But
Hmm.
to me, this was like, no, the experience of being a 12, 11, 12-year-old sixth grade girl is so timeless and universal that even though this book is set in 1970, to me, having been that age in the, 2000s, it was I really didn't even necessarily realize that it was set in the 70s because I'm like, this is exactly what it was like, and the things you're worried
Exactly.
about and the conversations you have with your friends, like exactly the same, you know?
That's what makes it so timeless is like it's like the thing that unites us,
Yes.
or at least all young women probably, is like these are the stressors, and like
Yes.
and even beyond just like okay, going through puberty or navigating your first crush or whatever. Like kind of sussing out, okay, is there tension between my parents and my
Yeah.
grandparents? Is there weird political stuff between like my mom and like the mom who lives a few houses down?
Yes.
Like those are things, that's what I'm saying. Like those are some of the things as an adult you can see clearly.
Yeah.
But when you're a kid, you read it and you're like, yeah, that is confusing.
Yeah. Like, what is
I
going on?
I don't know what's going on, but like, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just I loved it.
I
Like
know.
I mean, sure, it's a simplistic book. Like
Oh, yeah.
it's a middle grades book.
Yes.
But I was like, this is really interesting, and
Yes.
there's lots of good stuff in it.
No, really. Yes.
So what do you think, before we kind of move on, what do you think is like the general opinion of Judy Blume?
Mm.
Because like that's obviously a big thing. She's like very famous,
Yes.
and because of that, people have lots of opinions about her. Did you grow up with an opinion about her, or what do you perceive?
I don't think I really did grow up with an opinion of her. I would say, I mean, I did some Googling for this episode. So it kind of seems like like to me, the biggest like culture warfare of our age was like Harry Potter stuff. But I think maybe
Yes.
if we had been if we were a little older, like, we have older siblings who were grown up in like the 80s and 90s. I feel like they might have experienced more cultural opinions about Judy Blume because a lot of the stuff I found was like from the 80s when a lot of her books were being banned and there was a lot more controversy. So I think by the time we were getting there, maybe there wasn't as much controversial opinions about her. So I don't remember having any bad opinions. Like I said, I read other books of hers. I think I remember picking this book up, but just never reading it. So it wasn't like you can't read that book, you know. So but yeah, I do feel like well, based on my Googles, there was definitely some people who felt like she was, anti-Christian and
Hmm.
this book was inappropriate for young girls. But I just would say, I mean, I think maybe this is faded from opinions now. Like we're a little more understanding of the society. But if you feel like this book is inappropriate, again, these are the exact same conversations I was having with my friends at 11. Like, it is what
Hmm.
kids are talking about, anyways. And I didn't find anything to be age inappropriate in this book. I don't know. What did you think? Or what was your vibe about Judy Blume?
I think, yeah, similar to you. I think some of her like more mature books, there's like discussion of like sexual assaults
Yeah.
and things like that. So maybe that's where some of the controversy came from. But also, I mean, I could imagine like a very kind of conservative religious parent feeling a type of way about this book because for the fact that Margaret is asking questions about God.
Yeah.
And it isn't like this like solid immovable thing in her life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She's wondering, okay, can I feel God in a synagogue? Can I feel God like at a Methodist
Yeah.
church or at, I mean, she really just explores a few different denominations of Christianity
Yeah.
and
And then
Judaism.
Jesus.
But
But she's open, you know.
yeah, she's open. So I guess
Yeah, I could see that. But to me, I kind of thought, like, that's dumb because
that is dumb.
because it's almost like the opposite because she was raised without religion and then she wants to like be religious. I would almost think like, hey, this is kind of a great review, you know, for
Right.
finding God. Like her parents wanted her to choose her own faith as she grew up and she still believed in God anyway. So I don't know. I thought it was interesting, but yes, like I said, I did find that this book in particular was banned for the discussions of like puberty and also
Oh,
for
whatever.
being anti-Christian. Because
I
to
mean,
be fair, the predominant Christian characters in this book are the worst. They are the worst. So
Yeah. So the predominant Christian characters in this book are Margaret's maternal grandparents who have been estranged from the family because Margaret's mother, Barbara, got married to a Jewish man and they thought that was reprehensible.
yes,
So they end up in the course of the book like meeting Margaret for the first time and having dinner with them and just being like extremely judgmental and
yes, the worst.
really just terrible. But
Yeah.
some of Margaret's friends are Christian. She goes to church with them.
Yeah,
and-
yeah, no, and they're not bad. It's just really
Yeah.
the grandparents that are like,
yeah.
you guys suck.
On the other hand, Margaret's paternal grandmother, she's very close with.
Yes.
And there's a really funny dynamic because, you know, they move away from New York City where her paternal grandmother lives.
Mm-hmm.
And Margaret's grandmother is just heartbroken about it.
Yeah.
But also kind of is guilt tripping her parents.
Yeah.
For moving Margaret away from her.
Yes.
So there's several discussions, like this is what I'm talking about, you pick up as an adult, like
Yes.
where Margaret's grandmother's like, I think you should come into the city and go to a show with me, but tell your mom it was your idea.
Yeah. Yes, well, there's one scene too where right after they move, the grandmother just shows up at their house with like food, but completely unannounced. And I'm like, yeah, imagine like that's awesome if you're the kid. Like if you're Margaret, you're like, ah, grandma. But if you're the mom and you're like, my mother-in-law just showed up at my house at like
No
6
matter-
a.m.
No matter how much you love your mother-in-law, like it's
Like,
still,
yeah,
that's
just like unannounced showing up. Anyone, like, you would be like, hello?
And then another moment where, so whenever Margaret does go on like the weekend trip with her grandmother, she asks her grandmother, Grandma, can I go to temple with you?
Yeah.
And her grandmother freaks out and she's like, of course.
Yes, like the
you're
best day of her
Jewish
life.
now.
Yeah.
And they go to temple and she meets the rabbi and
Yeah.
this whole thing. And it's like, that is so classic, like a kid asking just like an innocent question
Yeah.
about religion and then an adult projecting so
Yes.
much on it.
Yes. Like, she's
Like-
just like, yeah, I want to check this out.
Like she's a kid having basic curiosity about something and then adults doing what we always do and like applying so much meaning
Yeah.
to that and like making it weird and instead of just letting the kid be curious.
Yeah, like maybe just chill out a little bit. So,
Right. Were there any other moments that really stood out to you where you like had a visceral reaction or
well, I hated, I mean, skipping to like the climax of the book, the fact that the grandparents, so the mom's parents basically get a Christmas card from her mom because she's feeling like whatever, she's sentimental. She sends a Christmas card. And they're like, we really want to come see you guys and meet our granddaughter. Can we come stay with you this week? And they're like, okay, fine. We'll try to repatch this relationship. Like, that's nice. But it's the same week that Margaret was supposed to go visit her other grandma who actually loves her in
Her
Florida.
real
Her
grandma.
real grandma. And she had this plane ticket. She had been dreaming of this because her grandma, I guess, moves to Florida. She's gonna go visit her. And they make her cancel her trip, which I thought was wrong of the parents. That was wrong. Like, they don't owe these other grandparents anything, in my opinion. They've chosen not to be a part of her life for 12 years, you know? And anyways, they cancel her trip, and then the grandparents come and they get all upset about something, and then they have caused this huge scene at dinner because they can't like let it go that, you know, the religion thing. And then they leave the next day. I was so upset. That made me like
If
just
I was
feel that
Margaret,
injustice. I felt it, yeah.
and that is like something when you are that age, there are so many things in your life you do not have control over.
Yes,
You have
exactly.
control over almost nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, very little in your life.
Yes.
So to have this one thing taken away, it's kind of like how, like I saw, like the Jimmy Kimmel Halloween candy thing.
Yes.
It's like the reason it's such a big deal to the kids that the parents like fake eat their candy is they've never earned anything in their life, and they earned that candy. That, you know, this
Yes.
is something that only belongs to them.
Yes.
And then the parents just ate it.
Yes.
You know, or they lead them to
Vacated,
believe.
yeah.
But like
Exactly.
that's what Margaret's going through. It's just like, I have this one thing in my freaking life.
Yes.
And everything at school is so hard and
Yes.
weird, and I have this one thing to look forward to, and you just take it from me, and I have no control. I can't say no.
Yes.
I just have to do what you say. And that made me fill up with righteous anger. Like,
Yes, I was mad for Margaret that she didn't get to go see it. But then her grandma ends up showing up the next day and came to stay with them. So I thought that was really nice that she ended up coming to visit.
and let me tell
Anyways.
you. So in the movie, it's kind of skimming ahead. The movie grandma is Kathy Bates.
I saw that.
And she's amazing.
Yeah.
And it is so...
She fits the role for sure.
Everyone in the movie just like makes this come alive, and it's just amazing. But before we get there, I wanted to talk about some of the other events that happened, and like, can you relate to them? One that I particularly related to as a former 11-year-old girl. And it was like, is this my life?
Yeah.
Because so Margaret and her friends decided to form this super secret club, but one of the rules of the club is you have to wear a bra.
Yes.
But Margaret doesn't need a bra.
Yeah.
But she has to ask her mom because she has to wear a bra to be part of the club.
Right.
So she's sitting in bed and her mom's tucking her in, and she's like, "Mom, I want to wear a bra." And her mom turns around and she's like, "Oh, you think you need one?" or whatever. And then they go shopping for a bra, and she gets like, you know, this little, it's called a grow bra, where it grows with you. Anyways, that is literally, sans the joining a club.
Yeah.
That's literally how I asked my mom if I could wear a bra.
Oh, nice.
I was like, we were on vacation, and I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. And I was like, Mom, I want to wear a bra.
Yeah.
And like, you know, and she kind of a little choked up or like taken it back. She's like, oh, okay, you know, whatever. And those are the things, like, she mentions that a little bit, like with her mom's reaction. She doesn't get why her mom feels like choked up by that.
Yeah.
There's just, this is a book for adults too.
Yes, it is. Well, it's just so interesting because you think, I mean, like, I feel like as a parent, you're constantly, maybe, I don't know, obviously neither of us are parents, but I feel like there's like you want to try to be ahead of the, like, you know, but then you don't also want to think your kid is growing up. So, you know, like, she has a comment later of the girls are taken to go watch a movie about like your body changing and puberty and getting your period and all that. And she's like, why do they wait till 6th grade when we already know everything? And it's like, I think that's probably the constant thing as a parent. Like, you don't want to do things with your kid or talk to your kid before they're ready, but you also want to be ahead of it. Like, you know, like, obviously Margaret didn't need a bra, so her mom's probably like, oh, she doesn't need a bra, but it's more about like the mental thing. Like, she wanted to. So I don't know. It seems like such a hard balance. Like, how do you, you know, time things appropriately so you're not behind on what your kid wants or needs, but you're also not too far ahead of it either.
The mother-daughter dynamics, like, all the way through. I mean, Margaret's relationship with her mom's relationship with her mom, and Margaret's mother's relationship with her mother-in-law.
Yes.
I mean, her dad is in this book, but he's really not very important.
Not really.
This is a book about
women.
This is a book about, yeah, the complex relationships between different generations of women.
Yeah.
I in this essay,
I will.
but
No,
there's a
but
couple other
really,
things I wanted to ask you. So, did you ever have a male teacher like in elementary school?
I did not in elementary school. And I didn't have any, I never had a male teacher until, like you had multiple teachers. So like in this, she is in sixth grade, but she
Yeah.
still only has one teacher. So it is kind of like the elementary school thing. But yeah, like I had male like teachers in middle school, but it was like, they just taught science or health or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't either, but there were male teachers at my elementary school, which fantastic. I love
Yeah.
that. But I remember being a kid in elementary school being like, "Oh, I'm so glad I don't have a male teacher."
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like I that makes me so freaked out and I don't know. And it's so because obviously she has a male teacher in this
Yes,
book.
and he's also
And
young. Like it's his first
23.
teaching job out of college, so he's young and fresh and like doesn't really know what he's doing. And
Judy
they're all
Blume
kind of
just
making
put
fun of him.
so many layers in this
Yes.
book. But one of the questions on the first day of school is how do you feel about having a male teacher?
Yeah.
And it's like that is a real thing. Like there's these
Yes.
it's just no one's ever had an original experience. Like I was like, yeah, of course that would be stressful.
Yes. Like you're the new kid, first of all, so you're trying to fit in anyways, and then you have the new teacher, and he's a guy, and he's super young, like he doesn't really know, and even the mom's like, "Well, we'll see if you learn anything this year." Like, oh
Right.
my God.
I know.
Yeah.
And yeah, in 1970 especially.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
that's even crazier. Like have a male elementary school teacher, you
Yeah.
know.
I'm sure that was a lot of weird pressure.
And then the other thing that one other event in the book that stood out to me was the birthday party.
Oh my God, yes. Yes. Explain the birthday party.
So what's his name? Lawrence?
Yeah, Norman, I think.
Norman
something.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a weird kid in her class who has a birthday, but they find out everyone in the class has been invited to this fancy dinner party, like
Yes.
birthday party.
Yes.
And it's mixed gender. It's
Yes.
boys and girls. And so all of her friends are freaking out. What are we going to wear? Like we have to dress up really fancy. And in the movie, they do a really good job of showing like just the level of excitement about this. But the funny thing is, they don't even really like the kid whose birthday it is. It's
Yeah.
just like
It's not even about him. Yeah, it's about the fact that the whole class is going and boys are going to be there. They get to dress up.
God. So what happens when they get to the birthday party?
First of all, they all act like fools. They basically are ruining this lady, but it's like a nice house. I can visualize this because I went to an elementary school where there were some wealthy kids who all, filtered out by the time you were going to a public middle school. But in elementary school, they were still there. And so there were some parties where they had like a full, like I never had a finished basement, but they had like a full finished basement and like a mansion like house. So I can imagine that experience of like going to someone's house and it's like super nice and you're just like, whoa, they're so like, this is such a different world. But they act crazy. And the mom's like getting mad. She's like, if you don't stop, I'm gonna call your parents. So they have to play some games.
And you guessed it. They play spin the bottle at first. Did you ever play spin the bottle?
No.
I never played spin the bottle to completion. I was in a spin the bottle circle one time, but I never in middle school.
You didn't get landed on?
I think actually more sad than that was I did get landed on, but then no one, like whoever landed on me was just like, no. So, that's bleak. But anyway.
Yeah, that would have been. I didn't know, I am not like a cool person. I think the only boy girl party I ever went to was like at your birthday.
My 13th birthday.
Your 13th
iconic.
birthday in middle school, which was iconic, but there was definitely no spin the bottle at that. So I can't really say, but I have always kind of thought, like, does this really happen? But I guess it probably really does happen. Like spin the bottle and stuff. It's like they play also another version of like 7 Minutes in Heaven, but it's like 2 minutes or something. So yeah, I've always just been like, I don't know. Do people really do that?
I don't know.
I guess
So
they
they
do.
play this 2 minutes game, and
Yes.
everyone like has a number, and then people draw a number. And so the boy in the class, I forget his name, but
Philip. I think.
Philip Leroy,
Yes,
that
Philip
everyone
Leroy.
thinks is like really, really like dreamy. He draws Margaret's number.
Yes.
So she goes into the bathroom with him or
Uh-huh.
whatever, and he kisses her.
Yes.
She has her first kiss. And all of her friends are super jealous.
Yes. It's like the best day of her life.
But she has this high. But the low is that like a couple weeks later on her birthday, he's like pinches her and he's like, a pinch to grow an inch, and you know where you need that inch. And he's like talking about her boobs.
He's like a terrible person.
And it's just like, it's like that, isn't it? Like the boys that you like, or, you know, it just, of course, like she would feel this betrayal. Like, oh, my first kiss ended up being this really like douchey guy.
Yeah. Well, and I think even more interesting about this is like she doesn't even really like him. Like she actually likes her friend's older brother, but like she feels this pressure to like him because he's the cool kid and
Right.
everyone else likes him. So she's like, I guess I have a crush on him. But it's like, yeah, no, like I think that's relatable too. Of just like, yeah, he's the cutest kid in class or whatever. We love him.
I'm supposed to like
Yeah.
him. That's another element of this. Like, I'm supposed to like this one kid,
Yeah.
but really I like this other one who maybe other people would think is weird, so I'm just not going
Yeah,
to admit
I'm just
that.
gonna stick with Philip Leroy, but
Right.
he also sucks. So yeah,
And then another through line throughout the book is her little friend group of like 4 friends who's going to get their period first.
yes,
And then the jealousy that she feels when some of the other girls get their period first.
yes. And then like one of them lies about it, and like the betrayal of that lie. But it's like you could understand that lie. Like
Right.
she's feeling nervous that she's gonna feel like I don't know. I think it's such a weird thing because when you're an adult, you're like, why did I ever wish for this? But
Right.
as a kid, I think it's really not about like whatever. It's about what it symbolizes of like, I don't want to be weird. And it's all happening to everyone around the same time. And then if it doesn't happen to you and it happens to all your friends, then you're weird and like there's something wrong with you,
Right.
which is not true. But, you know, like obviously everyone's on a different path or whatever, but it's just like a bodily function. But yeah, I think just the worst thing that can happen to you when you're that age is to be different from people. And like, yeah, like that is whether it's getting your period or wearing the wrong thing, like they tell her not to wear socks with her loafers. So she's like, I will get blisters on my feet rather than be the one wearing socks, you know? And so,
Right.
yeah, I just think the worst thing that can happen to you when you're 11 or 12 is to be different from everyone.
And to feel like there's something wrong with you, like, I think what I'm trying to say is like, there's something that my friends understand that I don't.
Yes.
And
And they're all talking about it, you know?
they're all
and
talking
I
about,
can't.
oh, you know.
Yeah.
I don't even know I think what we used to call it, like, in middle school, we were like Walter. We called our period.
That's so
like,
true.
oh, my friend Walter's in town. I don't know why we did that. But I remember it was one of you guys like got your period but didn't tell me. And I was like, what? Why didn't you tell me? Or like,
Yeah, that sounds like me, but
yeah, that's probably you. I was like, hello?
yeah, no, it's just such a weird time in your life, and yeah,
Oh, it's so
I
horrible.
would not
never
there's
go back.
I would never go back to that time of my life for $1 million, but
I would never do that again.
yeah, but it is so, again, this is why I was like, man, I really wish I had read this at that age, because it would help you feel like, okay, there's nothing wrong
not
with me.
alone.
Everyone has the same experiences, and it's all going to be fine, you know? Yeah.
Well, any other moments you want to pull out or things that stood out to you?
I don't think so. I'm looking at my little notes app that I wrote while I was reading it, but I said Nancy is a B. That's the like leader of her friend group. Also, her name is Nancy Wheeler, which I thought was funny because like Stranger
yeah.
Things.
Well, one thing I like that. So she in the movie version, Nancy is like even more of a B. Like you're like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
but this is why she's the worst. because even though she doesn't get her period first, like she gets her period like second to last or something,
Yes.
she has like little boobs for like first.
Yes.
And she's always talking about, oh, whenever you guys grow, like me,
Yes.
or whatever. It's just like, oh my God, Nancy, shut up. I
Yes.
just wanted to smack her.
I did too. I really did. And she's just so, I don't know, every friend group probably needs that person who's like a little bit like controlling, but yeah, she's annoying.
Yeah. Gosh, she's the worst.
Yeah, but that was the main thing. I think we talked about everything else I wrote down. Oh, and I wrote the cringe of changing in front of friends at that age because the first day when she goes to Nancy Wheeler's house, like the first time she gets there, Nancy's like, here, you can borrow a swimsuit. And she's like, oh, like, can I go change somewhere else? And Nancy's like, no, it's fine, just change here. But like, oh my gosh, like when you're 11, I don't know, just something about changing in front of your friends. You're so like, I cannot. I remember at that age, felt this is really embarrassing, but I didn't even want to put on deodorant in front of my friends. For some reason, like, even that was, like, humiliating to me.
Is it just like, it's admitting the fact, I think what it is like, when you're a little kid,
Yes.
you don't care about changing in front of your friends, because
Yes.
you're not even really aware of your body.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, whatever. But it's at this time when you're becoming aware of
Yes.
yourself
Yeah.
in such a weird way, and you don't understand that yet. And so the fact that like putting deodorant on in front of friends, it's like, it's admitting the fact that you might need deodorant.
Yes. And I think, yeah, like, everyone is changing, and so you don't really want to, like, show, like, I don't know, like, yeah, it's just so weird. It's so weird. Yeah.
And
so I felt
remember, yeah, or like, oh, like shaving my legs for the first time.
Yeah.
I remember like that was literally my birthday present, was like 1 year, I think when I was like 11 or 12, my mom like, because I had been asking, I really want to shave my legs,
Yeah.
and my mom was like pushing back against it because she was like, I just don't think you're old enough yet, like
Yeah.
you don't need to do that yet or whatever. And probably because she was clinging on to this idea of me,
Yeah.
being a little kid. But I remember I got a razor and shaving cream for my birthday.
Wow.
And I was so, before I was able to shave my legs, I was so aware of everyone around me, the girls that were,
Yes.
the girls that weren't.
Yes.
And you can bleep this out, but that's what you can bleep. She did everything first. She
Yes.
had boobs
She was
first.
so
She
mature.
shaved first.
Yes.
And it was just like, I felt so insecure
Yeah.
being so behind.
Yeah. Yeah. It just feels like because there's so much change at this age. Like you said, shaving, wearing a bra, getting your period, like noticing boys and them noticing you and all of that. Like there's so many things that happen. And it's such a clear line of who's doing things and who's not doing things. And if you're not, it makes you feel so like you're an alien on a foreign planet all of a sudden, or like you're behind on something, or like you didn't even realize whatever, like you didn't even realize you're supposed to, and it's so uncomfortable. So I feel for Margaret every day in this book.
Yeah.
Yes, and I love her.
So to the point of Judy Blume's genius and how she like is showing the experience of multiple generations of women, there are little moments that you see through Margaret's eyes, like her mom used to teach art when they lived in the city, but now she's going to be able to stay home every day with Margaret and whatever. But every day her mom is painting. And it's like, through an adult lens, you can look and see, oh, her mom is struggling with her own identity of like, I want to be this really available mom for Margaret, but also I'm trying to balance that with like my own calling and my interests and things like that.
Yeah.
And then you see like her grandmother's experience of feeling like alone and isolated and losing her identity too. So I think it's a book about women and their self-perception and their sense of identity and belonging.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what makes it such a work of art.
Yes, I love this book.
I know.
Yeah, I wish I could go back in time and give it to my younger self. This is a book that if you aren't going to give your kid Little House on the Prairie, give them Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. And just also something I wanted to say, like, I just loved her little prayers to God because it's so relatable. Like, you feel like, I don't know, I read a critique of this, or a interview with Judy Blume where they were discussing a critique from a male critic who was like, you make it seem like girls are so trivial and they don't care. But it's like, no, this is not trivial. When you were 11, you would pray to God that your boobs would grow, or like, about your
That is what
friend
matters to
drama.
you.
That is what matters to you. And like I don't know, she's taking those things so seriously that she does pray to God about it, and she doesn't even feel like there. I just loved it. It was just so like innocent, and it's not attached to any kind of religion. So it's just this like innocent, pure prayer of like, I'm not putting any like she doesn't even feel self-conscious. It's like, hey God, remember I asked you about my boobs growing? Like, what's up with that? And she's not even
Right.
feeling like this is a stupid thing to pray about. She's just like, no, this is what's important to me right now in my life. So I just really
Totally.
liked that whole, like through line of her little prayers to God. Like they were just really like nice, and I don't know, I really liked that.
Right.
Yeah.
Like biologically, stress is stress.
Yeah.
So like sure, for like a privileged kid who doesn't have to worry about hunger or danger or things like
Sure.
that. The thing I was talking to this is so weird. I was yesterday or 2 days ago, I was talking to some coworkers who have, one of them has a 12-year-old and one of them has a 14-year-old
Uh-huh.
about the things that stress their kids out.
Yeah.
And we had this exact conversation of like, we have to remember that just because those things don't seem stressful to us, that is the whole world to them.
Yes.
So I get that because I prayed a lot as an 11 and 12-year-old.
Yeah.
And the things I was praying about were like, God, just like, I don't want to be weird.
Yeah.
I want to have friends.
Yeah.
I want to have boobs. I want to be okay and make sure I haven't got my period yet. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Like, those are,
But they're serious, exactly like you're saying. Yeah. When that is your world, and luckily, honestly, yeah, like you don't have a famine going on or,
Yeah.
horrible things, but you have those other things are so serious. And so, yeah, I just really liked that.
yeah, love. This is a work of art.
It is.
So the last thing I just wanted to discuss was a little bit about the movie.
Yes.
So I'll wait for you to see it, but
Yeah.
I honestly will
Give
probably see it
give an
again.
overview. Yeah.
I went with some girls from my book club, and when it was over, we were like, best picture. Like, it was honestly so good.
It has really good reviews so far, I've seen as well from my Googles, so that's good.
Yes. It's absolutely heartwarming and wonderful. I laughed out loud. I cried, and it's just wonderful. But I wanted to just highlight a few things. Like, so Kathy Bates is a grandma.
Yes.
Just perfection. Rachel McAdams is the mom, which kind of threw me for a loop because in the book I kind of imagined. So this is just like, I think this is another thing about the book. In the book, I imagined her being a little bit like more old and like more dowdy than like
I
Rachel
can see that.
McAdams. But that's of course because it's from Margaret's perspective.
Yes. Well, that's one thing I did notice too. I'm like, oh gosh, because like some of the moms, you're like, yeah, like they're in their early 30s. You're like, right, oof. I
Right.
guess,
Right.
yeah, I missed that window to be the age of the moms in this book. Like they're pretty young to have
Right.
in my opinion, to have a 12-year-old. But I don't know, that was interesting.
Totally. So
Yeah.
her grandma is only 60.
Yeah,
And and she's 11.
yeah,
So when I saw Rachel McAdams, I was like, she seems kind of young to do this. And I was like, wait, no, she
Yeah.
really isn't.
Yeah.
And from Margaret's perception, her mom is old.
yeah.
But now from our perspective, I'm like, her mom is like hot
Yeah.
and cool. So, that threw me. But the relationship between her parents that's something that you kind of miss in the book, but it's really sweet in the movie.
Yeah.
Everyone go see it. It's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Well, I just love that they just were like, I don't know. I liked not that the relationship is shown a lot in the book, but obviously that they were willing to lose their family over loving each other. But there honestly doesn't even seem to be like, it's not like a bitterness. Like, even the mom is trying to explain to Margaret. She's like, your grandparents, they just believe this, and you have to try to understand where they're coming from. And I just really thought that was lovely of like, it's not like I hate your grandparents, or it was like even the mom, like her own parents disowned her. I would hate my parents if they disowned me, but she even has like compassion for them. And so I just thought that was, even though they suck and I hate them, but I thought that was lovely. And so, yeah.
Yeah. I think it's like also a painting of like what hyper religiosity will do to you
Yeah.
can sometimes cause you not to love others.
Yeah.
But for her parents, like having more of an open heart and open hand actually caused them to be more loving, like
Yes.
as you would imagine a Christian should be. So,
There's a lot.
anyways,
There's a lot about this book that made me emotional.
I know.
Also, I screenshotted this quote after this whole scene with the grandparents where Margaret gets really mad and she decides she's not praying to God anymore. And she said, caught myself starting to say, "Are you there, God?" But then I remembered I wasn't talking to him anymore. I wondered if he would strike me down. Well, if he wanted to, that was his business. I just loved that. I loved so much about this book, but that one part in particular, I'm like, yeah, that's about it. Like, fine, God, if you want to strike me down, that's fine.
Oh gosh. Oh, you know what? One thing we didn't talk about
Yeah.
was the girl in her class
Oh,
who, what's her
man.
name?
I want a
Laura?
book from her perspective. It's like Lola or something, isn't it?
Lauren or Laura?
Yeah.
Okay, she is tall and she has a big boob. She's developed early, and because of that, she's like ostracized. The
Yeah.
guys, there's rumors about she goes behind the AMP to like have boys touch her boobs,
Yeah.
and like,
Yeah.
and through the course of the book, Margaret realizes that this is like really mean.
Yeah.
And towards the end, she comes around and she's like, "I'm sorry," and
Yeah.
like,
And not
I
even
want to be friends with
true.
you.
Like, yeah, it's sad. But I did wonder, like, I did, in my experience, I think maybe this is an older version. Because I feel like the girls who developed early were almost like, oh, you're so cool. Like, you know? So I don't know if there's a different equivalent to, you know, what that would be like today. But I did feel bad for that girl. Like, she literally had no friends and no one wanted to talk to her. And there were so many bad rumors about her. And it was just
Because
sad.
they're jealous of her.
Yeah, yeah.
But she just wants to be. She doesn't want to be the way that she
Yeah.
is. You know,
It's
it
just
just
a
goes to
body.
show it's really, really, really rare for someone who's 11 and 12 years old to just love the way that they are.
Yeah. No matter what. Yeah, exactly.
You know, and so there's this ideal of like, oh, I want to get big boobs, but for the girl who has big boobs, like we don't like her.
Yeah.
She's like a
She has
slut.
no friends. Yeah.
Yeah,
So there's no winning. I agree.
poor one out.
Yeah.
Well, anything else you'd like to add about this book?
No, just that I think you should read it no matter what age you are, especially if you're
Yeah.
a female person. I feel
If you
like,
have a kid, if you have a
oh,
daughter,
especially if you have a daughter too.
oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah. Even, yeah, if you're a guy who has a daughter, I feel like that would be good too. I think, this is, yeah, this is the 11-year-old experience. So if you want to get inside the mind of an 11-year-old, to me, this was extremely true to life. So I think it would be a great book study for some parents. And I totally can't, like, if I have a daughter one day, I would love for her to read this book, unlike Little House on the Prairie. She can read this
Yeah, I
because
love
it's
it.
so good. Yeah.
Shout out, Judy
And I can't
Blume.
wait to see the movie, so we'll have to
Oh
update
my
you
gosh,
guys
I
when-
know.
after I see
I know,
that.
I know,
We'll talk
I know.
about it
It's
some
so-
more.
I can't wait to see it again. Honestly, like someone in my book club sent a message to the group chat and they're like, anyone still thinking about Are You There, Goddess Me, Margaret? And everyone was like, yes, I can't wait to see it again. I'm so like,
Yes.
and like the conversations that we all had after the movie,
Yes. Girl,
yeah.
girl power.
girl power. All right. Emily, what's a book that you've read recently?
Okay, so I just read this book. I think you would really like it actually. So, it's called Several People Are Typing by Calvin Kasuke. Kasuke. I'm so bad at these names, as you know, but basically, this was I read this within probably 2 or 3 hours. It's a super quick read because it is all written through Slack messages, based in a company, this PR firm company. And so everyone works there and it just shows Slack messages between different people, different groups in this company. And it's kind of weird because one of the people, Gerald, he gets stuck inside of Slack. His consciousness is stuck in Slack. His physical body is like comatose at his apartment, which you find out at one point, but he is only existing in Slack and trying to figure out how to get out of there. And so he's like trying to message people and they're like, "This is not funny, Gerald." And he's like, "I am not joking. I am stuck inside of Slack." And so it's really funny. It's really like surprisingly a very, very sweet love story unfolds, like very tender, Like, I don't know, it was very, like, I was not surprised. I was shocked by how, like, sweet it was and moving almost. There's a Slack bot who becomes somewhat, like, sentient. So it's really fun, but it was a really fast read. So if you're looking for something, because it's written in chat form, like, it's not super long because it's just, like, messages back and forth. So yeah, if you're looking for something you could read really fast, but also that is, like, surprisingly very lovely, I would recommend it. It was very sweet. So yeah.
I saw you posted about that on Instagram, so I
Yes.
have it on hold at the library.
It was really
Or yeah,
nice.
yeah, I have it on hold.
Yeah.
So
Let me
can't
know what you
wait. That
think.
sounds like a lot of fun. It,
Yeah.
it reminds me of the Hey Ladies,
Yes. Very similar.
which is
I
fun.
love that book as well.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
Okay, what about you?
So I'm gonna kind of cheat and do two.
Oh.
Because I read Malibu Rising and Carrie Soto is Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid, TJR. And so okay, the first Taylor Jenkins Reid book I read was Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo.
Okay.
And then big gap,
Uh-huh.
and then I read Daisy Jones and the Six.
Uh-huh.
So I didn't realize until I read Malibu Rising that all of these books are in the same universe.
Yes.
Which I'm like the last
Essentially,
person
yeah.
to figure that out.
Yeah.
So because, and in my defense, Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo and Daisy Jones and the Six are only connected by like
Yeah.
kind of a brief
No, they're
moment.
very thin. Yeah.
like
mentioned.
one of the husbands in Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, Mick Riva, shows up at a party in Daisy Jones and the
Yeah.
Six. So if it's been a while since you read them,
Yeah.
but you not know.
And I feel like we both notably suck at remembering names of characters.
Yeah,
so.
totally.
Yeah.
And it was like over a year.
Yeah.
So then I start reading Malibu Rising, and it's about Mick Riva and his family.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, oh, yeah, no, I remember this.
Yeah.
This is the same universe. And then I was like, okay, well, I want to keep on with the universe. So then I
Yeah.
read Carrie Soto is Back, which is also thinly connected. But anyways, I am a Taylor Jenkins Reid girl.
Mm-hmm.
I love historical fiction, which, both of these books are. Malibu Rising is set in the 80s primarily. It's about the family of Mick Riva, and he's a bad guy that leaves his family. And it's about a party. There's a time jump. I am on the record saying that I love time jumps, going back and forth between time, following this day that the end of it ends with a huge fire.
Yes.
And the fire is kind of like a metaphor for the story. But it hits a lot of points for me. It hits complex family dynamics. It hits historical fiction.
Eldest daughters, in my opinion.
Eldest daughters.
That's why I
yes.
love that book.
It hits like, well, and it's historical fiction in like two different time periods. It's like the 60s and the 80s. And also the other thing that hits for me is what happens at the end of the book. It's already been said at the beginning.
I love when that's like, I love
So
that.
this just like totally worked for me.
Yeah.
Like it hits and I can see why maybe some people don't like it. But for me, I love all of those things. So to have them all in one book was perfect.
Yeah.
One of the minor characters in that book is named Carrie Soto. And obviously Carrie Soto is Back is about Carrie Soto, who is a famous tennis player. This one is set in the 90s. She is, you can tell, inspired by Serena Williams and her relationship with her father. It's also a story about family. It's a story about Carrie Soto and her dad and her journey to becoming a famous tennis player, retiring and then getting back on the saddle. It's about like perfectionism versus like excellence, which I think are two very different things. Her need to be perfect, her need to win, versus just her love of the game. If you aren't interested in tennis at all, you may not like this. You can tell that Taylor did a lot of research about the technical bits of tennis to make this book real and authentic, because a lot of the book is descriptions of the matches.
Interesting.
And like what's actually going on, but what's going on mentally with Carrie. There's a little bit of romance. and I really liked it.
Okay.
That one's set in the 90s, so a lot more recent of historical fiction.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Awesome. Well, I haven't read Carrie Soto's back, but I also love TJR, so yeah, she's great.
Give it a shot.
Yeah, okay.
All right, cool. Well, I guess we'll see everybody back
One more week, and then we'll be talking about Happy Place by Emily Henry, which I believe is being released today as you're hearing this. So go ahead and pre-order that and read along with us, and we'll be talking about it next week on our pod.
So as you're listening to this, somewhere Emily and I are trying to quickly read the book so that we can record something about it.
Yeesh.
All right, guys. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.